This is a Compac 19. Summer Wind is its name. It's in pretty good condition, but it needs a good waxing. All the teak needs to be redone. The trailer's good. A little bit of rust down there. Definitely the bottom paint. There's the mast up there. Coming around to the starboard side, all new LED nav lights were recently done on it. And then there's some dirt and stuff here. Looking to the transom, there's a nice new transom light, a little swim ladder, and here's the rudder stock. Of course, an outboard mount. I'll show you the outboard in a minute. Climbing top sides, we have nice winches and cleats and everything. Might end up taking off this jam cleat, I don't know. Sail track there. And of course all the top sides are all oxidized. And then climbing aboard. Here in the cockpit we have a nice compass that is fully working and in good condition. Here's the tiller. Obviously it's very sad and definitely needs a good epoxy and varnishing. In general, the boat's, kind of dirty. It's been sitting in a guy's yard for 12 years. But pretty well covered and taken care of. Opening this hatch. Come down there in the lazarette. There's the battery locker. The boat is more or less wired, but there's no battery, so I'm going to have to get one of those. This next hatch, same thing pretty much. This is the bilge pump hose here. Fire extinguisher there. And then these little cutout bulkheads to lead into the interior of the boat. Taking off this plexiglass piece here. And go ahead and make our way down below. Obviously, down here definitely needs some rejuvenation. So the cabin sole at some point in time has been taken off. And right under this small layer of fiberglass, there's the concrete keel. I've had a previous Compac and it was just like that. So I'm gonna find a way to recover that either with wood or another material. There's this old fan right here. All the wood's in pretty good condition. All these port lights are brand new, which is really, really nice. This is the hatch for the fuel compartment in the back of the cockpit. All the space, obviously I'm going to repaint this. It doesn't have any cushions, so definitely going to need to make some cushions for it. Here's the compression post. Again, there's some lights in here. There's a little bit of water damage right here on this side of the port light, maybe from it leaking, I'm not sure. There's the bilge handle. Looking back, and then here, the step, we have the switch panel, which I might replace, and then these 12-volt cigarette lighter plugs. Alright guys, the first project I need to do on this little Compac 19 sailboat behind me, the guy gave me a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff, a lot of stuff that I probably won't even need. So today I'm just going to go through it, look at the interior, and kind of go through some of that stuff. So yeah. Okay, so I have just enough room in here to sit up right here at the mast compression post. These are the through bolts to the mast step, which I'm gonna redo the whole mast step because I think it might be a little bit rotted. Like I said before, it came with all these lights and everything, but I'm a little confused because there's no battery and I'm not sure that there's even much wiring. So I'm gonna go through that later, but the number one priority is that mast step. But then before even I do that, I just need to vacuum everything in here out But before I do that, I need to open up these last rats and see what's in here. Okay, now I have some vacuuming to do. So I'm guessing it's going to get very dusty in here. So I'm going to wear a respirator mask, but it's time to start vacuuming. Okay, so I just took the handrail off this side over here. This is the starboard side. They obviously used like some kind of marine sealant, like 5200 or 4200, because I really had to pry them off. But I find that when I redo these handrails and other teak components, it's a lot easier to take them off, and instead of trying to tape off the deck. Also, I needed to do this anyways because I am going to do a rather large project on the whole cabin top of this boat. They're fastened on the interior with these nice little bronze screws, which also help hold this headliner up. So, yeah. Also, a fairly big project on the boat that I need to figure out, and I'm not sure if I'm even going to need to do anything to it yet. It's the electrical system. So the wiring harness looks like it was redone pretty well at some point in time, but there's no battery, so I have no idea. All the nav lights, like I said before, are nice and new, and that's the expensive part. And I have taken the mast off over here, and he had gotten a nice new anchor light, which is not new anymore, but it's still nice and LED. This is the roller furler. It's a CDI, I believe. It's a little bit sad, but I think I'll be able to nurse it back to life. They're fairly expensive. I personally prefer hang-ons, but this will work because the sail is a roller furler. All the running rigging here is like covered in a dusty algae, and but they haven't been used much. They're pretty new, so I'm gonna take all these off and wash them. Also, all these little cleats, for some reason they didn't use stainless steel hardware, which I have no idea why you would do that, but they didn't, so I'm gonna replace that. Here's the steaming light here for the foredeck, and that probably needs to be replaced with an LED. I have some spreader boots, so I'm gonna put on these spreaders. Alright, so I went ahead and did a couple of things to the boat here after I vacuumed the floor and kind of cleaned up all those mud daubers and stuff. So I'm going to take you aboard and show you a couple of things that I've done. So when I bought the boat, I knew that there was some issues with the mast step here and the entire cabin top deck, which I'll talk about a little bit later. The deck itself is actually super solid and fine, and these boats are foam cored, so it's not rotted or anything. And the whole decks around the entire boat are all fine, including that hatch right out there. But the mast step, as you can see here, so there's a piece of wood that sits over top of this polyester filling compound type stuff, and I had to dig all that out, and I took the top off of that. That is right here, and it just goes over like this, and this tape is just to kind of hold it together. So it went like this, and it had a little bit of issues. You can see the wood right here. Some of that, I threw away all the wood and I wasn't able to film it because it was pretty late in the evening and it was hard to see, but I still need to chip away some of this, so I'm going to work on some of that right now. But also another reason I'm trying to chip away at this is because I'm going to inject penetrating epoxy to go on the rest of the cabin top here, because it's not too bad, and like I said before, it's not rot, so it's not spreading. It's more of an inconvenience than anything.